separation of self-signed certificate authorities and key stores for a successful first install. So the first prerequisite you're gonna have is Java, which we have already downloaded and installed, and OpenSSL, in case you really want to create a self-signed certificate and a certificate authority, a temporary one, to get on with the installation, really. In real life, you or your customers' servers will probably host the necessary software to create or download these certificates, because using a self-signed certificate is really just a way to get on with the installers, to get a sandbox or evaluation environment running. And any browser using that certificate will also always report that it's not secure to do so. So we've downloaded OpenSSL here, and we installed it. And we also prepared some folders on the C drive of this machine here. So that is a keys folder and such. And before you start creating the certificates, you should really understand your machine name. So our machine name is visible here, and we have added in the Windows settings the suffix of .local. So this is not a domain member here, but it's just a dummy domain that we really add, because we need a fully qualified domain name during creation of the certificates and later on. So we copy the fully qualified domain name, machine name.local here, into the clipboard, so we're going to use it. And the first thing after creating the folders is to create the certificate authority. So you see the command here, and that command is going to be issued on the machine. So it's using OpenSSL to create the certificate authority here. Again, we check the host name, and we use it in our temporary notepad just to keep track of it when we need to copy paste it later. And that's just notes that we do here, is just saving a text file. Okay, let's run the first command. So again, this is using OpenSSL. And once you start the command on the command line, you're going to enter the passphrase for the PEM file. And then you enter the information that will reside in that certificate. So you start with the country name, the state or province, the locality, business units, organizational units. Once it comes down to the common name, you really have to watch out here and enter the fully qualified domain name here. Okay, other fields can be left empty, such as email address, challenge, question. We leave all this by default. And once the first command is through, we're gonna check we have the two files generated here. And the next command is actually to sign the certificate for the certificate authority. And this is basically running the command and enter the passphrase for the public key. And we got the certificate file here. The security certificate is now generated. So this is basically what you would download from an existing certificate authority in your network if you have one. Now it's using Keytool. The utility comes with your Java installation, and we generate a new Keystore. And that Keystore file is the one we're going to use for the installation later of the Siebel Enterprise Server and the Siebel application interface. So when you generate the Keystore, basically a container for, and you can put things into it. So we're gonna also generate a key, and we're gonna input the same information here. So we are assuming a single machine install. So the first name, last name as its prompt is actually the common name. So make sure you enter your FQDN and then enter all the same information in reverse order, obviously, here that you entered before when you generate the certificate using the certificate authority. So after entering everything and securing the Keystore with a password, you have a JKS file. It's not ready yet for prime time. We need to import some stuff in here. So we're going to import the certificate of the certificate authority. So that's using the import command. And we run that and have to provide the Keystore password and specify whether we trust the certificate. Of course, yes, in this case. So this imported the certificate file. Now we create a certificate signing request using keytool again. This would result in a CSR file, certificate signing request file, which we then have signed by the authority. So first, renaming the file is not really mandatory, but it's a good idea to maybe have a unique file name, just as the FQDN, as we do here. Running the command will generate that CSR file. There it is. Now we use OpenSSL to actually sign the request. Using the file names, obviously. Setting the expiration. So this is going to generate the signed security certificate, signed by the certificate authority. Again, this is something you would do using third-party tools in an existing network environment. And now the reply certificate file we just created is the reply from the certificate authority. We import that into our Keystore again, using the import command, specifying the certificate file we just created. Okay, one final password here, and the Keystore is